Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Coach Bill with Weight Loss Made Easy. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday so far. Today I'm here at the gym, and I thought I'd just do a quick video today on a topic that seems to come up a lot because people want to know why they are not, either they're plateauing out or why they're not losing that fat that they're trying to lose. And they're doing everything they think is right, or they're doing everything that their coaches tell them or personal trainers telling them, but yet they're not moving either on the scale or their pant sizes, and they want to know why. Why is it that they're exercising 5, 6, 7 times a day, doing tons of cardio, and they're lifting weights, and they're eating clean, and yet they're not getting the results they want to get? Well, guys, I'm here to tell you that there's more to it than just exercising and dieting. Now, it's not really that hard to reach your goals if you're time. What makes it hard is you trying to do it on your own because, like I said, it's not as easy as exercising and dieting. And those of you that are having a hard time losing that belly fat or body fat, especially those of you that are over 40 plus that are looking, you guys are at a plateau or having a hard time. The thing you need to understand is there's a lot of factors involved, and that's where coaching comes in. You know, my wife has a coach. I have a coach. We coach each other because we have to be reminded to stay on track. Well, all the different factors, and probably the biggest one, I would have to say is in the top 5, I think is the biggest, is you got to understand hormone imbalance and how that plays a big part in losing that belly fat or hip fat. You also need to understand how important it is to change your lifestyle as far as what you're eating and the time you're eating it. You have to understand the science behind that, how that plays a factor in your losing your belly fat or body fat. The biggest thing you want to really understand is once you've lost the belly fat or hip fat, you want to keep it off for the rest of your life. And those so-called Western diets out there, or the paleo diets or so forth, yeah, they work for a while, but they're not designed in a way to keep it off for the rest of your life. Plus, there's factors in there that's going to actually sabotage you to gain the weight back, and even more so. But if you're following a protocol, which Emily and I have been doing for a while now, and it's pretty obvious that it's working for us, is that when you're following the 3 protocols that we have, which are, I'll tell you about it again, it's called primal eating, or what you guys know as a ketogenic diet, which is known by science to not only help you lose massive amounts of weight, but it's a good way to keep you in overall health for the rest of your life and fight many diseases. We also do intermittent prolonged fasting, which is also shown by science to keep you into a calorie deficit that it actually promotes a lot of health benefits, especially those of you that are older that are looking to put on lean muscle, and you guys saw my video a few days ago about that. And so we're also hydrating with hydrogen-rich water, which is also known by science as being the most powerful antioxidant out there, and will actually hydrate you at the cellular level. And so these are all the factors that are involved. You have to know about being in fat adaptation, what that means. You have to understand that just doesn't happen overnight. You have to switch your body from being primarily getting its energy from the carbohydrates you're eating, which is causing your hormones to be imbalanced, which is causing you to get to hold on to that belly and body fat. And then you have to understand how to convert or switch to burning fat as your primarily energy source. So you have to understand how all that works. You got to understand, okay, how do I stay in the fat burning mode 24/7? How do I do that? Well, you got to understand that, and that's why I'm saying it takes It takes some coaching to educate you to do all that. So there's more factors, a lot more factors. The big one out there right now, and not too many wellness coaches or personal coaches or strength and conditioning coaches, and that included me, because we are doing so much research because we are older. We are looking to add more lean muscle, and we are looking to slow premature aging. So of course we're going to research this like crazy. And when I both, we spend hours and hours of researching it. Most of the time we try it ourselves to make sure that it's not only safe for you guys, but it actually works. And so what better subjects to have than two old bodies that have gone through damages over the years from the lifestyle that we led as being athletes and being in competition and stuff and damaging ourselves. But guys, like I said, there's a lot more to it. And once you fully understand it all and you educate yourself through all this, and it takes time. You also have to know all this doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. If you truly, really want to lose the belly fat and body fat, and you truly want to prevent diseases, and you really want to keep this off for the rest of your life, all this is shown by science as being able to do that. But you just have to understand it. And once you do, it does become very easy. Now, primal eating, like what we do, we've been doing it for a few years now, which you guys know as a ketogenic diet, is a way to keep your metabolism high all the time. And that's a major factor in keeping the belly and body fat off for the rest of your life, is keeping the metabolism up there. But how do you do that? Because what happens is, those of you who have been on those so-called Western diets, and there's so many different ones out there, it gets confusing, that yeah, they work at first, but what happens later? Well, you end up falling off the wagon and you gain the weight back, and you're gaining more weight back, so it's not working. Well, you need to find a program that actually your body already knows how to do. You just need to give it time to activate everything that's in your body naturally to keep you from sabotaging your progress, and that's where imbalanced hormones come in. So when you understand the few hormones that you need to get under control so that it doesn't sabotage your progress, that part of it even becomes easy because you understand it. And also the primal eating is actually known to be the best diet out there those of you that like to go to fast foods, it's the only diet out there that will actually let you do that every so often and still not sabotage your progress of losing that belly or body fat. And it's also the only diet out there that if you do fall off the wagon, I mean, how many times have you guys been on diets and you're starting to lose weight and you go to a family event, you go to a birthday party, and you go out with your friends, and you have something that you were told is going to sabotage your results, and then after you have it, you're stressed out, your cortisol goes up, and then because your cortisol goes up, that's your stress, you then start eating because you're stressed out, and it just escalates over and over again. Well, primal eating, when it's done in the proper way, is the only diet out there that actually gives you the opportunity to mess up every so often and not affect your progress. And that's also known by science. And why is that? Here we go again, another factor. Because you've put your body into a fat-burning mode by being fat adapted. And all this stuff, it sounds complicated, but once a coach explains it to you and you are actually educated about it, it's very simple. And it's a lifestyle that you can do for the rest of your life. I mean, what better way of dieting than when you're able to go to a fast food place or you're able to mess up and still be able to get the results. That's what's so cool about all this. And it's been around for decades, but nobody's teaching anybody about it because what are they doing? Well, of course, they want to sell their supplements at thermogenic pills that are supposed to be able to burn all that body fat, or their supplement that is going to boost your metabolism. Guys, you don't need to buy all that crap. You're spending hundreds of dollars a month on stuff that your body already can do naturally if you just give it the right tools. That really is how simple it is. And those of you that are 40 over, guys, if you know how to activate your new satellite muscle stem cells, and this is where I'm coming to. This is huge, and we need to talk more about this, is that your body can actually internally has a mechanism that will actually produce new muscle satellite stem cells by being in an environment which they call autophagy, which is known by science to be able to rejuvenate new stem cells. For those of you that had cancer, that had chemo and radiation, this part of it's huge. If you could put your body into a position to where it's actually rejuvenating new stem cells, how much better is that to heal the damage the chemo and radiation has done to your body? Because most of you know it takes years and decades of being really clean eating and living a very clean lifestyle to do that. Most of you that have had post-cancer or cancer aren't doing that anyway. But guys, science has been showing this to us for a long time, but nobody's talking about it. So those of you that are 40 plus, if you're looking to put on lean muscle, which you have to be, this is another factor. For those of you that are older, in order for you to lose that belly fat and body fat, you have to understand that the older you get, the less new stem cells you're producing. So you have to reactivate it. And the older you get, you guys are also not eating enough protein, which also helps to build lean muscle mass. So you're in a deficit of all this, and all you're doing is you're just running in circles and nothing's going to happen. You got to understand how all this works. And when you do, you also are dipping into what they call slowing premature aging. Now, a lot of you older people, you definitely want to get involved in that. But there's a lot of factors involved in how to do that consistently and continually and for the rest of your life. And like I said, it's not that hard once you're educated and once you understand these different factors and how they play a role. Now, there's another factor that plays a huge role that I only hear one health professional out there by the name of Thomas Delar who talks about this periodically, and I really do believe that this should be talked about more especially by doctors who are working with cancer patients, because a researcher out there by the name of Dr. Otto Warburg, he won a Nobel Prize discovering. And what that is the function of the mitochondria at the cellular level when it comes to not only all-around health or to prevent diseases like cancer, but also it helps in your being able to lose and balance your hormones and to lose that belly and body fat. If you have a dysfunctional mitochondria that's at the cellular level, which is the power plant, which gives you all your energy, if you have a dysfunctional mitochondria, you're done. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can do all the exercise, all the dieting. You can do whatever. I mean, all the you can be a vegan, a I don't care what you are. Unless you get that mitochondria healthy and back functioning in what it's designed to do, you're wasting your time. But by these 3 protocols that we do, all 3 of them are designed to take a dysfunctional mitochondria and bring it back to life so that all the pieces in the puzzle will work. Even in your gut plays a huge, that's another thing. I educate people about their gut. If your gut's not healthy, you're wasting your time again. So you see, there's a lot of factors involved here, and that's why finding a good coach that is educated in this and they're doing it themselves, and they are actually looking like they do it themselves, then it makes it much easier, and over time you will have enough education to where you do not need a coach anymore, and you can go on your own. But you have to continually research it, and you got to continually find the new research on explaining the science, why this all works. Okay, guys, so I just had to throw this out there because there are so many different diets out there. There's so many of these wellness coaches and health coaches that are on YouTube or on social media saying their way works all the time. And when actually you've got to look at the science behind it all and what the body is originally designed to do. See, the word physiology, that's a very important word, because your coach or your wellness coach or your personal trainer, whoever, your doctor, whoever, needs to fully understand the physiology of the body and fully understand the physiology of the cell and how it operates, and the physiology of the mitochondria, and physiology this and physiology of that. Your gut. So that's all the factors. All these factors, they all work as a team, but there's a sequence that they have to go through. And I tell you what, the number one link, I believe personally. I'm not going to say that. The number one link, I believe, is going to be the type of water you're drinking, because your body cannot survive without water. And we all know here in the United States that our water is so contaminated that the World Health Organization is warning us about it. But yet, most of you do not take that seriously enough to change the type of water to you that is known by science as being the most powerful antioxidant on this planet to help rebuild new stem cells and the immune system, and has a structure to it that's able to flush out the environmental toxins at the cellular level that you've stored up, because of the environmental toxins are so bad and the food you're eating is toxic. Well, how are you flushing that out if you're not drinking enough water, and if you're not drinking the right water? Even your toxic bottles, filtered city water, filtered water from your refrigerator, even those alkaline waters you think you're buying at the store is healthy. No, they're junk. The health food store water, junk. It's all toxic chemicals. They're all in plastic. How does that make sense as being healthy in your body? And how does it make sense that you don't think by you drinking that water and the breath and the toxic chemicals you're breathing, you're storing it in your cells at the cellular level, which is causing what? What is in the cell that is the number one power plant for our body? And Dr. Otto Warburg found that a dysfunctional mitochondria is one of the root causes, if not the root cause, to people getting cancer. Okay, well, it's called a dysfunctional mitochondria. That's why that's a factor that's very important. So, guys, I know this was a lot, but it's something that I'm tired of hearing these people complaining about. They've plateaued. They can't lose any more weight. And Emily and I are in the business of educating people, and they still won't listen to us. Even though they look at us and they comment about how we look at our age, yet when we explain to them, well, these are the things you want to do and you should do, and they just blow it off like we didn't even say anything. Well, how's that all working so far? It's obviously not working at all, but for some reason, they just don't want to change their lifestyle, and they don't realize what they're doing to their own body and how they're accumulating so many toxins at the cellular level, which is causing the mitochondria to become dysfunction. Over time, that will generate some kind of a disease. So why not look into preventing it? And even if you adults don't care about your own selves, maybe you ought to look at your little child and think, well, if the environmental toxins are that bad, or if the food is that bad, or whatever, then I don't want my child to have to go through some kind of degenerative disease like type 2 diabetes, or child cancer, or child autism, or some kind of a mental issue. I don't want that to happen, because you know what? If you research it yourself, that little baby, in the environment's getting worse, that little baby is in this lifetime longer than you are, so they're going to accumulate more toxins than probably you have, which is setting them up for what? It's setting them up for some kind of a degenerative disease down the line. So if that child gets cancer at 50, 60, or 70, it's because of the child's history. You see, that's what we have to understand, and that's why we need to teach our our younger generation that they have to take their health in their own hands and stop listening to these doctors who are giving them the wrong information. Not all of them. Not all of them are. Most of them are. You know, I got to say, we have the best emergency surgeons in the world. We need them. But most doctors are not educated in therapeutic nutrition at all. They're not educated in molecular hydrogen, and they don't understand the physiology of the cell because they can't. They're too busy. You know, they're seeing patients all day, and they're seeing patients maybe for 2 or 3 minutes all day. They don't have time to research. They don't have time to do their own continual education. So basically, it's really not their fault. But you have to take the responsibility of taking your health in your own hands and do your own research, and don't listen to anybody. Just do your own research, and you make that evaluation if that's what you need to do as far as taking some kind of medical drug or whatever. You know, you guys know Emma and I are not into that stuff. So anyway, guys, I hope you saw some interest in this. I hope this helped you out a little bit. If you want to know more about our coaching, you can just message me. Or if you want to know more about the hydrogen-rich water, message me. You also can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it. I got all kinds of videos up there. I think there's like 300 of them now. That's a lot of them. About different aspects as far as having overall health or losing that belly and body fat. So guys, you have a great day, and we'll talk to you at the next video. Have a good one. Bye.